Annals of the Space Wolves. This video will cover the latest lore added in the new 8th edition Space Wolf codex from the Fall of Cadia all the way to the current events of the timeline. Read directly straight from the 8th edition Space Wolf codex. The Fall of Cadia. The victorious Space Wolves rush to the Cadian Gate as Abaddon the Despoiler launches his 13th Black Crusade against the system. After a series of grueling orbital battles, the Imperial fleets are left all but crippled, and the invasion shed much Imperial blood on the planet's surface. In a last effort to halt Abaddon's Blackstone Fortress, the Will of Eternity, Wolflord Sven Bloodhowl leads his Fire Howlers, along with other Adeptus Astartes and Astra Militarum forces in a boarding action. He has not been seen since. Whatever their fate, the flight of the Blackstone fortresses continue towards Cadia. Many other Space Wolves are slain on Cadia itself, as traitors and demons pour across the planet. Among them is Orvan Highfell, successor to Egil Ironwolf, who is torn to shreds by a rampaging bloodthirster. His valiant sacrifice, along with those of other countless Imperial warriors, are ultimately in vain, as the Will of Eternity is sent crashing into Cadia. The pylons scattered across the world that for 10 millennia have held back the warp are rendered useless, and the planet is transformed into a roiling demon world. The jaws of the warp. The rune priests of Fenris hear a bestial howl of the Immaterium as warp storms tear through the Imperium. For a moment, the guiding light of the Astronomicon is snuffed out, and the Emperor's realm is plunged into darkness. The worlds of humanity are buffeted by empiric energy, tearing apart the links between them, and many are lost forever. The opening of the Great Rift renders each planet a solitary island, alone in the savage sea of stars. M41. Saga of the Maledictum. The gift of the Primarch. Word reaches Fenris that Rebuta Gilliman, Primarch of the Ultramarines, has been awakened from his millennia-long stasis and has been made Lord Commander of the Imperium once more. The great companies are summoned to Fenris to receive the Primarch as his Indominus Crusade passes through the subsector. Upon Gilliman's arrival, he presents the Space Wolves with new ranks of warriors, the Primaris Space Marines, created from the generic stock of Leman Russ by the Archmagos Dominus of Mars. Despite the great companies being severely understrengthened in the wake of so many recent wars, there is still division among the Wolf Lords as to whether or not the warriors of Gilliman's Ultima founding should be accepted into the great companies. After all, the Primaris Battle Brothers are not born of Fenris. They have not braved its savage winters and violent summers, and they have not taken the test of Morkai. Some of the Wolf Lords see the gift of Gilliman as a ploy to undo their proud traditions and bend the Space Wolf chapter finally to the precepts of the Codex Astartes. Though he hears their protests, Logan Grimnar sternly counsels his Wolf Lords to follow the will of the Lord Commander at this time. The return of Magnus. Magnus the Red launches a colossal assault on the Stygia sector, located on the far side of the Great Rift, in the region known as the Imperium Nifilus. To reach the war zone, 7 great companies wend their way through the treacherous channels that cross the Citrix Maledictum. The Space Wolves, along with the Dark Angels, Iron Hands and Astra Militarum forces, launch a counterattack against the invading Thousand Suns on the crystallized world of Tarkan. It is the first major campaign in which the Primaris Space Marines are deployed, and they fight with the same ferocity and passion as any son of Fenris. Yet despite their tenacity, the overwhelming numerical superiority of the Chaos forces soon turns the counter-offensive into a desperate last stand. It is only the sudden and unexpected arrival of an Eldari strike force from the craft world Ulfwe that allows the Imperial forces to make a fighting withdrawal, leaving the Stygia sector to its grim fate. The Curse of Russ. Having shown their strength and savagery in many battles, packs of Primaris Space Marines are deployed by Wolf Lords more readily. Though they do not know the customs of Fenris, they are innate hunters and show the preternatural ability to coordinate their attacks with those of other Space Wolves. Ulrich the Slayer proposes that within the Primaris Space Marines, the key to curing the Wulfen's curse may be found, but he is soon proven wrong. Whilst purging a Jakari raiding party on the mining world of Smelter's Heap, several packs of Inceptors, fighting alongside the Wulfen, succumb to their bestial affliction. Rather than using their assault bolters to outrange the enemy, they fight. The Inceptors charge heedlessly into the enemy and use their firearms as brutal makeshift bludgeons, Through sheer animal fury, the Inceptors are able to drive off their foe, and with the battle over, they regain control of their passions once more. It is revealed that through their generic link to the Primarch, these Sons of Rus are just as susceptible to the curse as the Wulfen as any other member of the Space Wolves. The Primaris trials. To prove their mettle and dedication to both themselves and their chapter, many Primaris Space Wolves travel to Fenris to undertake the test of Morkai. Though they do not need to drink from the cup of the Wulfen, they must still make the 1,000-mile journey across the Fenrisian barrens bereft of any clothing or weaponry, without succumbing to their bestial instincts. While the majority pass the test, a small few do not return. The Great Portent. On Fenris and in war zones across the Sea of Stars, rune priests receive riddling visions and cryptic visitations. Time and time again their casting bones point to the same future. The return of the 13th Great Company, the emergence of Magnus the Red, and the awakening of Rabuti Gilliman are the last verses of the saga that will culminate in the Wolf Time, the prophesied return of Leman Russ. After undertaking a perilous spirit walk, Najal Stormcaller petitions Logan Grimnar and Ulrich the Slayer to awake beyond the Fell-Handed, so the ancient warrior may grant the High Rune Priest an audience. The request is granted, though what they speak of is kept secret.